Say hey, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Appreciate all of you guys, as always, for tuning in. Mother's Day edition, I am going to give everyone the day off. I don't want anyone to go away from their moms or wives and all that such. So we're doing the show solo today, a large card today. We're going to break them down pretty quickly. It's going to be a good show. I cannot wait. 18 games today, 18 of them. It's going to be a great card. I cannot wait. Let me get over here a little bit. It's going to be fun. I have also locked in so far 5 plays that I'm tweeting out as we speak, actually, right here, as you can see me doing it, so we can get this show on the road. But first, as always, let's give our shout out to the people of Baltimore and get into Say Hey Plays 32. Say Hey Plays 32 now underway. This is going to be a fantastic show. I'm trying to send this tweet out. I keep hitting I instead of you. But I will say this. Here are my 5 plays to start off today so we can get them out there. Because there are some games starting soon, exactly in 1 minute. And my first play of the day is the Red Sox, White Sox, first 5 under 4.5 at -120. And we will talk about this. So, Michael Wacha, scratch from the start, right before the start begins. I'm looking it up right now. I think there was an intercostal strain, I believe they're terming it. So he is on the IL now. So I took the first 5 under 4.5. That hurt me there, that he was not in there, but Tanner Houck, a suitable pitcher in his stead. I am going to continue to this tweet because I have to do this live, unfortunately, for me, because I'm running a little behind, but we will give everyone a shout out in the chat. I appreciate all you guys for joining me. I know these solo shows with just me are always a little interesting, and it is difficult listening to one person talk for such a long time, but I appreciate all you guys for joining me as always. There we go. I got the tweet off finally. So we're ready to go now. All right, so Real Deal Prime, Stella Girl, after it. What's up, Stella Girl? Sam Colmer, Nasty Nate, what up, Unk? Stella Girl says, what am I missing on the Milwaukee first 5 line? I'll tell you, I'm right there with you. One of my plays, Milwaukee first 5 money line. I got it at +105. If you get a +120, that's perfect right there. So you could do that, Stella Girl. Dommy Gunn saying, Braves, don't forget, 8-2 day games. That's great right there. Moose Money, Mark Sports Betting, Occupancy. What's up, guys? Dommy Gum, Chief, Teflon, Don, my guys, Real DJ. Hope to see you in Arlington, Dallas soon. Remember, next week, guys, next Saturday, me and Cab, or I should say next Sunday, I should say. Next Sunday morning, me and Cab going to Red Sox Rangers in Arlington. If you guys are in the DFW area, come by, say hello, join us for the game. We're going to be doing the show live beside each other as well. It's going to be a good show. I can't wait. It's going to be my first show beside another human being. It'll be fun. It will be fun. All right, let's keep on these shout-outs. By the way, Teflon Don, I'm done with the ponies. That was a crazy race yesterday. I watched the replay, a little drone shot where you can see the guy come all the way from the back. And apparently, no one fucking told me the jockey's from Venezuela. I think it was a jockey. But shout out to him, man. That's awesome. Venezuela repping right there. My guys, Gerald Jones, Jay Peasy, all you guys. Yes, I am doing this massive card alone, Cab. It's going to be fun. I cannot wait for it. Damon Santori, Sam Colmer, Mr. Heat, Eric Jones, Mr. MDR, Ricky Bobby, Brian Watson, Real DJ. Can't wait. Let's do this. By the way, yes, he will be on Tuesday. It's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. But no, I don't worry about it, Cab. I'll be by myself here today. It's going to be fun. Appreciate you guys for joining. So now let's get into this Red Sox game as it's starting right now. Michael Wacha out. Dallas Keuchel has looked horrible this year, but I think the Red Sox are offensively that poor that they can make them look good again here. Last time out versus the Angels, Keuchel went 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, and a strikeout. Not good. Just not good. Plain out not good. But the Red Sox offense has been that bad. I've been saying it all year. They've been awful. 4.5 I thought was a pretty good number to get. I'm expecting 4s now around with the Red Sox, so I get the half run there. And Tanner Houck has been an excellent pitcher this year. He had a blow-up start last time out, or it wasn't even a start. It was a relief appearance. He kind of blew up. But I think that's kind of an outlier. I think he's a better pitcher than that. That happens. But I took the first 5 under 4.5 here. And by the way, shout out Robert Franklin. He's going for the sweep here. Going for the sweep. White Sox plus 153. I don't hate that. The Red Sox don't hit, so I don't hate that at all. And they're going through a lot of shit right now. The Red Sox are officially done. By the way, I'd like to say they are done. Michael Wacha on the DIL. Sale pushback. They're just all these things keep happening to them, and they just seem cooked. And it's really sad. Really sad. By the way, Mike M says as bad as Dallas is, 90% of the money. Or Keuchel. I'm thinking of Dallas Rangers or whatever. 90% of the money is where you want, not where you want to be today. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you right there. Yeah. Dami, I've been banging the first 5 full game under for the last 2 days for the Red Sox, and I took it again. Yeah, Dami, I'm right there with you today. I said yesterday yours was sage-like, and by the way, 17-mile-per-hour winds. I forgot to mention that. It's a huge, huge factor, and I should have mentioned that off the top, honestly. 17-mile-an-hour winds according to RotoWire, so go definitely look at your wind factors, and yesterday, for sure, it killed the ball. It was crazy actually to see. There was a couple home runs that were clearly going to be home runs, and the wind just kind of just took them down. So it was crazy. I did not bet the under there, and I told Dami immediately during the game. I was like, well, that was a great bet because that's going to hit no problem for him. So I love that, Dami. So I'm on there with you again here. Shout out Rob Garvey, Spud, my man. Accidentally took White Sox first 5 month and money line. Okay, fair enough. Rob Garvey, Spud. I hope that hits for you. Ron Walsack in here. Craig, let's get it here. And yes, Dami, you're a sage. What can you say? You go sage mode. Shout out to our Naruto's fans in there. But yeah, first 5 under for me. That game starts here soon. And I'm not going to be watching it, actually. This is going to be one of the rare Red Sox games I guess I'm not watching. So we will see right now. Next game on the docket, I've got my pitching matchups all fucked up here. That's how you guys can tell I've had a rough morning here. So apparently I believe it's Kyle Gibson and Max Scherzer for game 1 of this double dip. This has been the game that's been trying to happen for the last 3 days, but the rain's been going on. So people in the chat, please let me know if I do have my pitching matchups fucked up here for these double headers, because they do have them all backwards. I do have them all backwards, and it is annoying. It is very annoying. So I had originally Chris Bassett versus Eflin. Eflin gets scratched. I also just got Zach Wheeler news. He's on the COVID IL, so that's tough for the Phillies. And Dami Gunn saying Bassett game 2. So so it's Scherzer Bassett today. So man, that's a fucking murderer's row for the Mets there versus Gibson and someone from the Phillies. Let us know who game 2 starter is for the Phillies if you guys know, because I didn't have them written down. So I didn't have anything in this game, obviously, and I would obviously lean towards the Mets here again, and it does seem like the Mets are going to sweep the Phillies here. The comeback game, that's just so fucking brutal, obviously. You sit on it for 2 days, and I also would this is the fucking no-duh statement of the year, but I would also look to the unders here in this game, too. The hitters have been sitting back for a couple of days, not doing much, not seeing many pitches. And I could see a Max Scherzer come out here and dominate, obviously. Maybe if you're feeling real ballsy, individual Phillies team total under. I've seen those cash a couple times. You can get a 2.5, 3.5. But those are big balls. And Kyle Gibson does have a lot of familiarity with these guys. 165 plate appearances. Lindor's hits 333 off of him. Eddie Escobar hits 400, 5 for 2 sample size. But everyone else gets pretty controlled. Pete Alonso 0 for 9 with 4 Ks. That's a big one right there. And Jeff McNeil hits 310 at-bats, home run, 1 strikeout. So I definitely would lean towards the Mets both games. Honestly, I think the Phillies might be just a sunk ship, and that comeback was really interesting. And Robert Franklin saying Sanchez for Philly, and Jay Peasy, Christopher Sanchez, and he actually gives the correct response. Who the fuck is Christopher Sanchez? Yeah, so for sure, Phillies here. First game and Mets second game, as you guys said, Chris Bassett versus Christopher Sanchez. And I think I'm absolutely going to keep moving on this game because it's who the fuck is Christopher Sanchez? Why would you bet the Phillies with him on the mound? No thanks. No fucking thanks. Fourth game on our docket. Third matchup here: Kansas City Royals versus the Baltimore Orioles. The other Daniel Lynch, Jordan Lyles, and I do love Daniel Lynch. I love me some Daniel Lynch. I'm all aboard the train now. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, and a walk versus the New York Yankees and at the Chicago White Sox, which were really a determining start for me. You know, if you're an elite pitcher, you go to Chicago and you dominate the White Sox, who traditionally do hit lefties, even though they can't hit anyone right now. They do traditionally hit lefties. 6 innings, 2 hit ball, no runs, 7 Ks, 2 walks. That's great. And I want to look to back him here, honestly. So, and I purposely didn't make any that many plays going into the day today because I should have said this actually at the top to recap yesterday. We had a fucking horrifying day, a 3 and 5 day, almost down 3 units yesterday. So that bumped down the records, as you guys can see, down to 23 units. So we're trying to come back here, and I was feeling a little hesitant, but I do want a little piece of Daniel Lynch here. And the Lynch mob here, let me see here. Actually, they switched the pitching matchups now. So here's one of the, here we go. They did switch the pitching matchup. Vincent K. Maxwell feeling the way I am. I hate doubleheaders. On Bovada right now, it is Zach Greinke pitching against Jordan Lyles in game 1. And I assume Daniel Lynch will get the game 2 start. Let's see here. Yep, Daniel Lynch versus Bruce Zimmerman. Battled the lefties. Yeah, man. This is just fucking, this throws up all the capping. This is an annoying part of having the doubleheaders here. But all right, so let's look at the lines now with Greinke and Lyles. Royals are sitting at minus 115 with Greinke on the bump. Baltimore at minus 105. The total is at 7.5. Minus 125 for the under. As you guys can see, a little juicy on the under there. But man, that is annoying. I had that going into that. I had that mindset of under in that game going into it. But I think I kind of like the matchup for the under more with Zimmerman because he's just objectively a better pitcher than Lyles. And, you know, he's been fantastic this year throughout the whole year. We can talk about game 2 now, and I'll flash you guys the wrong pitching matchup brackets here again. But I think, let me see here for the line here. Game 2, you're getting a 7, and the full game under is at minus 105, and the first 5 under in that game is at 3.5. Under is minus 120, under is minus 110. Over is minus 120. And I'm going to move on that under. I'm going to move on. I don't know if I'm going to take the full game here or first 5, but I'll tell you, both of these hitters are not good right now. The Royals are 17th against left-handed pitching with a 94 weighted runs created plus, and the Baltimore Orioles are 28th against lefties, a 66 weighted runs created plus. And remember, I say this every show, but I'll keep saying it. My splits are from April 17th to today, so did cut off some of the early weeks, and that will move up again starting tomorrow, actually. So we will see. This is the last day of that. But I think both these teams aren't just good at hitting. That's plain and simple. So I think I don't know if I will add both first 5 in full game here because the double ups have been screwing me mightily this last couple of days. I think I've lost every double up I've had since Dabby Cab mentioned that he doesn't like doubling up. And early on, it was successful for me, but I don't think I can do it right now, especially after how yesterday went. So I'm going first 5 under 3.5 there at minus 110 for Kansas City, Baltimore. Game 2, I should mark that down too. Game 2 specifically with Bruce Zimmerman and the Lynch man, Daniel Lynch, on the bump. Let me go look at the comments real quick, and I will see here. Moose Money in the chat. Shout out to you, Moose, my guy. Moose Money, who you will be seeing on this program hopefully soon. That'll be a good show. Can't wait to see you, my guy, Moose. Small sample size, but the O's have hit Greinke. Stellar Girl in there. As a personal rule, I never double up. Abel got the no-run first inning minus 130, and that was the White Sox-Red Sox game. I'm feeling a little naked that I do not have that game up, so I'm actually going to pull it up now and watch, and maybe we can get some live reactions, because you guys know I become a psychopath when I watch the Red Sox, and I get very emotional. And those that watch the end of the Kentucky Derby stream, you will have watched me watch the Red Sox collapse right in front of my eyes. And I gave my guy Dabby Cab the White Sox live in the top of the ninth, or the bottom of the ninth inning, with the bottom of the ninth inning, plus 130 to win that game. And of course, that cashes. So shout out to you, Abel. I will be watching that. DJ live betcast. This is a live betcast now. Live betcast. Here we go, Mr. DJ. Here we go. And yes, it is on Peacock. This is the first game of the year where their Peacock is hosting or doing the MLB. They have a lot of success with soccer in the mornings on NBC, so they thought it would be a good idea for this. And honestly, I don't hate it. I do not hate it. What up, J-Dub? Shout out to you, my man. First time tuning in. I hate that it has to be with just me and not a guest and me, but I appreciate you for watching, my man. Appreciate it as always. Let's get into another double dip here. Texas Rangers versus the New York Yankees here, and Garrett Cole versus Dane Dunning, I think, because I had John Gray versus Garrett Cole for a while, and then this morning I look and it says, nope, it is actually Dane Dunning versus Garrett Cole here, and I will double check here, and that is still listed on Bovada. Minus 245 for Garrett Cole, plus 200 for Dane Dunning, over under a 7.5. And let's talk about Kermit Cole here. He's gotten his shit together recently. At the Royals, a lowly opponent, 6 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks, versus the Cleveland Guardians, who have been hitting well, but you know how fugazi is that? But and Dami does put it well here. Cole getting stronger every start, and shout out to you, Roger. That appreciate you, my man. Versus the Guardians, 6 2/3, 4 hits, no earned runs, 9 Ks, 1 walk, and that was coming off of his disaster start at the Tigers, an inning and a third, a fuckload of walks, and that includes 5 walks, 2 earned runs. So we will see here. And by the way, it is for my man Abel, Mr. MDR here. Rafael Devers has a base hit, so 1 out, 2 guys on for the Red Sox, and Dallas Keuchel looking shitty as always to start off this game. Am I going to regret betting this first 5 under? Are you guys going to watch me lose this first 5 under live? Let's find out. All right. JPZ, appreciate you for the dono, my man. Thanks for the $5 dono. You are my guy there, JPZ. Let's get this cash here. All right. So, like I said, Garrett Cole has been fantastic this year in spots. He has gotten touched, against, I would say, better opponents here. But the Rangers do not classify as one of these better opponents. Not good against righties. And the Yankees right now against righties, third, 120 weighted runs created plus. So it would be only Yankees run line for me, I guess. Dane Dunning is a capable pitcher. He has had his moments of looking great. Last time out versus the Atlanta Braves at home, 7 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, no walks. You wouldn't expect that from Dane Dunning. You really wouldn't. And then the time before that versus the Houston Astros, 5 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, and a walk. He's been solid. He's been solid for this squad. So I think plus 200 would be a little too low for me here, I guess, going against Cole. And if I would have backed the Rangers here, but I definitely don't dissuade a run line, and I'll definitely just keep passing on this game. And we'll talk about game 2, which might be a little more interesting. Another game where I just, don't know. I think this is Glenn Otto versus Jordan Montgomery, guys. Guys in the chat, let me know. They shift these around a lot right now. Let me double check on Bovada too. And Glenn Otto has been, for me, I thought he was a bet on pitcher. After that first start, you see his stuff against the Houston Astros, I believe his first start. No, that was the Oakland A's was his first start. 5 2/3, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, and 2 walks. Great start there versus the Houston Astros. I would say a good start, A good start, not a great start. 4 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned run, 5 Ks, 2 walks. Astros aren't hitting that well, so take that with a grain of salt. Yankees here obviously will be a much difficult task for him, much more difficult. And I think this will be the real determining factor here. This will be like the true test if Glenn Otto is in fact bet on good this year. If he can stifle the Yankees, go 5, 1 or 2 earned runs, I think that would be a successful start for him. I would think that would be pretty successful. And right now, the Rangers against lefties, they hit. They hit. 12th in the league, 109 weighted runs created plus. Jordan Montgomery, he's okay. He's crafty. One of the pitchers that I respect on the Yankees. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, no walks at Toronto. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, no walks versus Baltimore. And 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, 2 walks at Detroit. He's a quality pitcher. And once you get to the Yankees bullpen, it's lights out. So I would say I would lean towards the under here, I guess, at 7.5. But, 7.5 at Yankee Stadium is just not that appealing to bet on, to be honest. It's just not my cup of tea there. And let me double check here. Yeah, it's 7.5 at minus 115. Yeah, nothing for me here. Nothing for me. We'll just keep it moving, keeping it tight, playing it safe, and a pop out to foul territory for, I believe that was Xander at the plate. I did not see who was hitting. But 2 outs now for Abel Alvarez in the bottom of the first inning. 1 more out for him. And let's see who comes up to the plate, because I do not have the Red Sox lineup memorized right now, unfortunately. Abel, I know you're sweating over there, and I'm sweating for you, Abel. I know you're sweating. 1 more out to go. Let's go. Let's go, Abel. All right, let's keep it moving. I'll keep my eye on that to see who comes up. Maybe we'll get some play-by-play as well. Next game on the docket, Aaron Ashby and the Milwaukee Brewers versus Charlie Morton and the Atlanta Braves here. And I think this was easily the most surprising line of the night or the day. I don't know. Oh, it is JD Martinez at the plate. Shout out to JD. So I think it's very interesting that the Brewers are plus money here, because Charlie Morton has just been objectively awful this year. We will run through his numbers here in a second, but shocked to see this, and I'm glad that there was comments saying the same thing to start out the show, and that's why I took Milwaukee first 5 money line. I got a plus 105. I was pretty surprised by that. And Moose Money saying Brewers have the full bullpen available. So, man, I wouldn't hate a full game either. I would not hate a full game at all either. I'm pretty surprised. Charlie Morton, last 3 starts, and they're good opponents. So we'll say that too. 5 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 3 Ks, 3 walks at New York. The Mets, 2 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and a K versus the Chicago Cubs. And at the Dodgers, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs off of 2 home runs, 4 Ks, and 3 walks. So just not good. And I like Aaron Ashby. And I was pretty shocked to see that he's not getting consistent starts, to be honest. When I looked up his game logs this year, he's been kind of spotty. He's had 2 starts this year. This will be his 3rd at the Cincinnati Reds, or I should say versus Cincinnati Reds at home. He went out there. He didn't get the game started. Or he didn't get the start, but he went 2 1/3, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 Ks. Got to start at Pittsburgh, 5 2/3, and hit, earned run, 6 Ks, 5 walks. And, just thinking about it, they probably use an opener for him. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And that's why he's not getting his game starts. That might have been his dumb comment. 3-1 for JD Martinez right here. Big pitch for Dallas Keuchel. So let's see what he does here. Dallas Keuchel, extremely washed up. And I'm shocked that I took this first 5 under. And the Red Sox really can't score against him, then there is pain. A fly ball to right field, but scorched right at the right fielder. And Abel Alvarez escapes the first inning 0-0. Cash that shit, my man. Cash it right there. Attaboy, Abel Alvarez. Get that shit. I like that. Yes, the wind's going to be blowing today, gentlemen. So you guys are going to see that wind all day for that. Dommy Gunn in the chat here saying, let me read this for us. Let me see this for us. Sorry, guys, for taking this time. Morton had a broken leg, and it seems like he's pitching a little better. I've been attacking K-Props versus the Brewers. Nasty Nate, Cash with you. JPZ in there. We love that. Love it. Yeah, Nasty Nate giving us the weather report. It's windy as fuck out here. Shout out to Family Guy for the weather report bit that they had. That was very funny. I remember that. And by the way, Mr. Vape said, I followed you on the 4.5. I believe in you, Jose. Shout out to you, Mr. Vape. I appreciate your belief. Let's go. We need it. So, all this to say, guys, I'm kind of been pitter-patting over this game with the live calling of the Red Sox as well. But I'm on the Milwaukee's first 5 money line plus 105. I think they win this game outright. Truth be told, and I'm a little surprised that the Braves are the minus 130 favorites here. Obviously, as you guys saw yesterday, minus 130 is now no longer my favorite number because I got crushed by those yesterday. And I took them like a fucking donkey. So I'm rolling with the Brewers here, and I don't hate the Brewers money line. Shout out to Family Guy. Yes, Family Guy is in Rhode Island. Nate, I was a big Family Guy. I grew up on Family Guy actually, and I also remember I for the longest time I thought it was Family Guide and not Guy, and I thought that was very funny when I learned that for the first time. Like I was like 12, 14 years old, and I've been watching the show forever. But let's keep moving on. Talk baseball. Pittsburgh Pirates versus the Cincinnati Reds. And I have been seeing people on the Reds full game minus 130. And I think that is fucking crazy. I cannot explain it. And by the way, I'm glad to know that Nasty Nate lives in Quahog. That's good to know, Nate. But I don't understand why you would back a team that's been so bad this year at minus 130 right now. I got them. I had to wrote the line down obviously at minus 140, but I just think that's crazy. Why would you want to trust the Reds with your money like this? I understand Tyler Mahle has been their guy, but I'm pulling up Tyler Mahle's splits real quick because I want to make sure before I say this, but I'm fairly certain, yeah, Tyler Mahle even sucks at home, too. So I don't understand why you people would take the Reds here. Zach Thompson, not good either. Not good at all, I don't think. And by the way, just for people keeping track at home, Mahle, a 5 ERA at home and a 3.92 at home away. So not the bad, like not that great, but he's not been great this year either. And I just don't understand why you would put the money on that. I would lean to the over 8 that Robert Franklin is chatting here. I like that, and honestly, I'm gonna write that down because I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up moving on that as well. Let me double check on the line here because Zach Thompson, just not been great. He didn't start his last appearance. He came out of the bullpen, it seems, and he got 1 inning of work, 1 hit, no earned runs, a K, and a strikeout. But his last 2 starts versus the Padres, 4 1/3, 4 earned runs, 3 Ks, 3 hits. At the Chicago Cubs, 2 innings, 9 hits, 9 runs, 4 earned, K, and 2 walks. Over minus 115 to 8 right now. And the Reds still minus 140. I don't get it. Nasty Nate, why are they wearing pink? Because it's Mother's Day. It's because it's Mother's Day. That's why they are wearing pink. Yeah, so I'm off this game entirely. I think that the over 8 would be my move here for sure. But yeah, let's read the comments. Gerald Jones on the over 8 as well here. Ronald Ambergia saying this is a trap game. Stay away. 2 shit teams. I agree with you. This is the bum fight. This is the MLB bum fight. HD2 Bieber's implosion yesterday was disgusting. Yeah, I fucking hate it. That was really annoying. Really annoying. And by the way, Dami, more knowledge. Appreciate Dami's knowledge as always in the chat. In the Braves game, there's also a big umpire trend to the under. So there we go. Appreciate that. And Daryl Turner with an interesting question. Who would you rather have a meet and greet with? Elon, Joe Rogan, or Seth MacFarlane? It's a tough question. That's a tough question. I think I would pick Seth MacFarlane. Elon seems a little weird, and I don't know what I would talk about with Elon. I'm not a big UFC guy, and I don't listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, even though I listen to a lot of podcasts. So Seth would be my answer there, Daryl. I appreciate your random question. I'm here to answer them, especially since I don't have a guest today. I'm here to answer all your questions in the chat. So shoot them in there if you got them. Shoot them in there if you got them. Next game on the docket, Toronto Blue Jays versus the Cleveland Guardians. Alek Manoah versus Connor Pingleton. Connor Pingleton coming up to the majors here. Reading off his AAA stats here for Connor. 5 innings, only 5 innings in AAA this year. 0 ERA, 5 Ks, 1 walk. In AA last year, he went 4-4, a 3.48 ERA, 62 innings pitched, a 4.16 FIP. So I'm not, I can't advise betting on him. Like, first of all, let's start there. Like Cab says, if you don't really you've never seen the pitcher pitch, don't bet on him. And I can guarantee you that a lot of people in this chat do not have MLB subscriptions and are not watching minor league baseball games. So I think Connor Pingleton is a big unknown. We can read all about him, but it's so I'm ultimately going to stay off this game. Obviously, Manoah is a fucking dog. He's a beast, and he's 4-0 for a reason. Last time out for him versus the Yankees at home, 6 innings, 3 hit ball, 1 earned run off a home run, 7 Ks, and a walk. Dominated the Red Sox for 7 innings, no earned runs, 7 Ks, and dominated, I would say, I guess, for in his standards, because he gives up 1 or 2 runs, had 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 6 earned, 6 innings pitched. There we go. 7 hits, 2 earned, 5 Ks, no walks at Houston. So he's been great, and I can wholeheartedly say that if you take the run line minus 135 is a little too juicy. I wouldn't, but if you got a better line there, I wouldn't hate that. And the first 5 is at minus 135 as well. I lost a lot. I lost a couple of those minus 135s yesterday, minus 130s ish. So I've got a little superstition. And by the way, middle of the second now, 0-0 in Boston. Tanner Houck cruising, and they've already had a little fuck up with a camera. So that's good. Good job, NBC. We're learning, NBC. We're learning. So I will be, I honestly, I don't think I'll be watching this game because I don't have any interest in Connor Pingleton, and there'll be better games on the docket, and I expect the Jays to kind of roll here. Kind of looking at the Jays to roll here. Moose Money shouting out parlays, by the way, a little parlay steam picking up on this show. A lot of people are favoring those 2-team parlays right now. Moose Money looking at the Jays and the Yankees, the AL East parlay here. Roger that. Winner, chicken dinner. Def Toronto. Ronald and Bergia. Blue Jays minus 1.5. No worries. Robert Franklin giving BJ's run line if I had a bet. And remember, there might be a lot of wind in the windy city of Cleveland. That's what they call it, of course. Let's do a little RotoWire check of the wind. Let's do it here. Cleveland Guardian. That's 9 mile an hour left to right wind right now. So do with that what you will. And of course, RotoWire may not be the most reliable website when it comes to weather. And by the way, only one game seemingly on the chopping block for being canceled today. And actually, we'll talk about that one next. I had Detroit, Houston next, but we're just going to mention this real quick. Oakland, Minnesota. Apparently supposed to rain there. Supposed to rain. Who knows? Dalton Jeffries, Chris Paddock. I had no play in there, but I did want to take Minnesota. I did want to take Minnesota first 5 at least. I was leaning that way, but Chris Paddock, you guys know I have a little bit of trust issues with him. He's been great this year. I can't complain there. And Minnesota's 8th against righties last 2-3 weeks. 113 weighted runs created plus. So I lean Minnesota, but this game might not play. And I would also lean over too, because Dalton Jeffries, as good as he's been, had his first bad start, or I should say first back-to-back bad starts, I should say there. 5 innings, 11 hits. I think I was getting Dalton Jeffries with Cole Irvin mixed up. I don't know. These A's pitchers are starting to just become replaceable. They're all just the same dude, same creative player name. But 5 innings, 11 hits, 6 earned runs at the Giants. 4 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned runs. So I definitely think this game can go over, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Twins roll here too. So, but just be aware, might not go. Rainy day in Minnesota, it seems. All right, let's get back to the Houston Astros here and Detroit Tigers. If I got Willie Peralta on the bump here, I need to double check on that one if you guys could in the chat. I did not get this starter until like very late in the day, I guess you'd say. It's like 20, 30 minutes before the show. So I don't really have much on Willie. I didn't do an in-depth cap on him this year, I should say, for this game. He went, I should say, he had 18 games started last year, 93 innings, a 3 ERA, sure, 58 Ks, 38 walks, not the best there. He's just kind of a mad pitcher versus Jake Odorizzi, who has been great this year. Well, has been great his last two starts. We'll specify there. He's been great his last two starts. Versus the Seattle Mariners, I thought he would get touched up in, honestly. I thought he would get touched up in. 6 2/3, 4 hits, no earned runs, 3 Ks, and a walk. And at the Texas Rangers, 6 innings, 1 hit ball, 1 earned run off a home run, 4 Ks, and a walk. And both of those were coming off of his horrible start versus the Angels, where he couldn't get his shit together. He had 4 walks, and it seems like he's figured out his mechanics. Maybe you need that blow up start to kind of figure it out, and Jake Odorizzi seemingly figured it out right now. So I guess I would lean towards a first 5 under here too, just based off the fact that the Houston Astros, man, they fucking took me out back yesterday and fucked me up. I slandered Eduardo Rodriguez's good name yesterday, and he fucking absolutely dominated the Astros hitters, and it was really impressive to see from Eduardo. I think I'll still be fading him going forward, but I was really impressed and shocked to see how well he pitched there. So I would lean towards the first 5 under. How much of it was Eduardo? How much of it was the Astros? I don't know, but I would. I'm off this game entirely, just as the late pitcher announcement has me off. Don't want anything to do with it. Next game on the docket had actually another late pitching change, unfortunately. Cardinals versus Giants here, and I will, because it's supposed to be Rodon here versus Dakota Hudson, but Jakob Younis getting the start here, and good old Jakob. I think, is he just an opener for Rodon? I think Rodon's been pushed back now twice, and it feels like it's been a minute. Like, I don't understand. Someone, maybe of my guy Nut Flush Allen's in the chat. He can help us out a little bit here, but Younis comes in and has been excellent, absolutely excellent, and he might be one of the guys that comes in the Giants' first year bump for these pitchers. He's gone 2 games so far, the 27th and the 22nd, so it's been a while since he's pitched. Versus Oakland at home, 5 innings, 4 hits, 6 Ks, 1 walk, no earned runs. And at the Washington Nationals, 5 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs again, 4 Ks, no walks. So just great numbers from Younis. He was horrible last year for the Royals, but I'm off this game entirely. I don't understand exactly why they switched. And like I said, maybe they're doing the opener thing. They're doing the old Jakob Younis for a couple and then Rodon, but I can't imagine they would want to do that with Rodon. So I'm completely off this game. And just for the people keeping track at home, RotoWire has this wind at 22 miles per hour out. But remember, it swirls in San Francisco, so it makes it a little more complicated. But windy day in the Bay. And what happened to Kyle Hanley? What happened to Rodon? Kyle Hanley asked. I'm not sure. He's just not supposed. He's not starting apparently today. I was shocked to hear it as well. Pitchers going down with COVID. Some guys going on the IL. There's just a bunch of weird stuff happening today. Stuff happening today, all leading into this shit sandwich that we call a baseball card. And I just want to double check real fast. Yep, he's still Younis, and it's a minus 130 by the way right now. Still minus 130 plus 108 over under at 7.5. So yeah, I'm off that game. I think it's a weird Weird matchup there. Weird matchup. Next game on the docket, Washington Nationals versus the Los Angeles Angels. And shout out to you guys for sticking through this solo show with me. I appreciate you guys very much for it. Kyle Henley and Mets game 1. I did not have anything for either Mets game because I didn't have the pitchers, Kyle Henley. And the pitchers were all fucked up for me this morning, so I have nothing for me there. And by the way, Rodon, Moose Money is making a good point because the whole issue with Rodon going to the White Sox and then going to this offseason where he's a free agent was injuries. And I'll tell you, let me see here. I'm trying to find your comment now, Moose Money. Here we go. Rodon is one of those arm injuries waiting to happen, so this is concerning. He throws so many sliders and has stayed with that pitch transferring over, so I fully expect his starts to be pushed out back throughout the year. And the Giants, I think the Giants are one of the better franchises of managing pitchers, obviously, so he's got a good spot there, but it's concerning. It is concerning for Giants fans. But let's talk about it. The Angels here and Kyle Hanley dropping his 5K bombs on the Los Angeles Angels here versus the Washington Nationals and Eric Fetty, who I'll admit has not been Eric Fade Fetty this year. Has been Eric pretty average, okay to good at Eric Fetty this year. 7 innings last time out. I wrote at the Washington Nationals for Fetty, even though he plays for the Washington Nationals, so I don't know who this was against. But he went 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 3 Ks, 2 walks, and versus the Miami Marlins the time before that, 4 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks. So he has been pretty good this year. I'm shocked to say that, but he's been okay. Patrick Sandoval on the other side, who I want to call Pablo every time, 1-1 with a 1.29 ERA this year has been great. Last 2 starts for him at the White Sox, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 Ks, 3 walks. Probably his worst start of the year right there, and that's still a good start in my book. And versus the Cleveland Guardians, 7 innings, 2 hit ball, no earned runs, 9 Ks, 1 walk here. Washington Nationals are 21st against lefties on a 91 weighted runs created plus. So Kyle Henley, that'll make you feel better, of course, there. And the Los Angeles Angels, 14th against righties, 104 weighted runs created plus. Sandoval, I like him. And I will say this: I want to pull up his Fangraphs page just to make sure before I say it. But I'm pretty sure he's a big home run splits guy as well. He's got a 4.69 at I should say on the road and a 3.5 away. So it's not like he's great, but this year specifically, if we're gonna just narrow it down, he's got 21 innings pitched so far, 10 on the road, 10 at home. 11 at home, 10 on the road, a 0 ERA at home so far. 0. So, now he's given up 1 run, but it was not earned. So, there you go. I like Patrick Sandoval today, Kyle. I like your play. Get that 5K smasher for you, my guy there. Next game on the docket, Colorado Rockies versus the Arizona Diamondbacks here. And I'm on Arizona first 5 -1/2 at -115. German Marquez is not a pitcher, unfortunately, that I believe in. I'm not on the German Marquez experience. He has struggled his last 2 times out versus the Washington Nationals. 5 innings, 10 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 home runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks. And I mentioned those 2 home runs because 7 earned runs with only 2 home runs. That is a shocker right there. And Nasty Nate saying the fucking Red Sox wasting opportunities. Nate, that has been the whole fucking season. And you saying that is the least surprising thing I have read in this comment section today. The Red Sox live to waste opportunities this year. At the Phillies for German Marquez, the time after the national start, 3 2/3, 7 hits, 7 runs. Again, only 4 of them earned this time, but 7 runs crossing the plate. Zach Gallen on the other side has been phenomenal this year, and I really think Brett Strom has just got those. He's got those boys pitching well, and it's been really fantastic to watch this year. At Miami, a battle. I believe this is a start against Pablo Lopez, and he was very cocky into this start because remember, I had to be reminded about this after the game. Zach Gallen was traded for Jazz Chisholm straight up. And that's a fantastic trade now, just to look at baseball wise. I love that shit. That's awesome. And Zach Gallen was talking his shit about how Jazz went like 0 for 3 against him. So shout out to that. And by the way, a little breaking news. I look over on my phone. The Diamondbacks call up their top outfield prospect. I believe I saw Zach Thompson. Let me double check real quick. But his name was Alec Thomas. Alec Thomas coming up for the Arizona Diamondbacks top prospect there. So that a little bounce there, and we'll talk about another top prospect coming up here. But I'm on the Diamondbacks. First 5 minus a half, minus 115 for me. Don't believe in Marquez. Do not believe in their pitching staff. And I will say the one concerning thing here is I remember Moose Money saying this. Echoes in my head all the time. Right now the Rockies are 20th against right-handed pitching. 86 weighted runs created plus. Not good, but the Diamondbacks are just right there with them. 18th at 89 weighted runs created plus against righties. So bad offenses can make bad pitchers look good. Shout out Moose Money. And I hope that does not happen today with Herman, but I'm believing in Zach Gallen, and I'm taking the Diamondbacks. So shout out to the D-bags there. Let's look at the comments here. Rants, totals. Dude, better lines, no reason to bet 165 at all. Yeah, bet 165. Kyle Henley says he really likes the Mets game 1. And Roger that saying, I hear people in Boston talking about the Kurtz and Mookie Betts. We do not talk about that, Roger that, and Mookie Betts' comments will hurt my feelings, so do not mention them. I do not appreciate that. Rants, won with the Rockies last night and Rays money line. Shout out to the Rays. The Rays, if they didn't come through for me yesterday, it would have been historically bad. Kyle Henley in here. Angels. And by the way, Kyle Henley's 5K bet is on the money line. He's eating the juice there, but when you're betting 5K like that, the juice does not matter. The White Sox, by the way, are threatening a fucking perfect bunt down the third base line to sacrifice the runners over. Excellent bunt. So 1 out, men on second and third for the Chicago White Sox. And by the way, I don't know about you guys, but I am not a fan of the Mother's Day hats. And a little more breaking news. Shout out to Basil, who I just saw this in the group chat that I'm in. Friend Ramon Laureano coming back from his suspension and playing today. But I still think that game is going to get canceled. But Ramon Laureano back from his suspension off of steroids. So remember that. And hopefully he plays well enough to get traded out of there. That is what his goal will be this year. Sox are in a jam right now. 2 on, 1 out. Tanner Houck needs a strikeout. So this will be a sweaty couple of minutes for me. Next game on the docket here. Marlins versus Padres, a fantastic pitching matchup, I think. A little underrated here. Trevor Rogers, 1-4 this year. Rocky start, but I still believe in him too. Shout out to Nolan and Sharpie, who have these discussions about the Marlins pitching staff, I'm sure, constantly. Versus the Arizona Diamondbacks, last time out, 4 1/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 4 Ks, and 2 walks. And at the Nationals, the time before that for Trevor, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, and 2 walks. Miami right now 11th versus right-handed pitching at a 110 weighted runs created plus. Joe Musgrove on the other side, 4-0 with a sub-2 ERA, has been fantastic this year. I said originally at the beginning of this year, I'm not a Joe Musgrove guy. I was not, and he's been great. He's been absolutely great this year. At the Pirates, 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks, no walks. And at the Reds, obviously those are 2 shitty starts or 2 shitty teams, and he went back-to-back against the Reds. So maybe those are inflating the ERA or the record a little bit. Who knows? Who's to say? 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, only 2 of them earned for Joe Musgrove and the Reds, and that was off a back-to-back. So still respectable start there from No Joe. 14th are the Padres are against hitting lefties. 104 weighted runs created plus. I think this is a good game. I'm off this game. And quite frankly, I think I would only be dog or pass for me. I think Trevor Rogers is a good pitcher, but It seems like, as Cab will hear me and hear himself say this too. I really think that every time I watch the Padres, Manny Machado is either hitting a home run or getting on base. He's been fantastic this year, and when you bet on against the Padres, you're betting on against Manny Machado because he's been an animal. Let's see here. Moose Money dropping a play here. Musgrove K prop 6.5 at plus money. Miami has cut down the Ks at home, but it's still an issue on the road. Average almost 10 Ks per game. Look at that. 6.5 there, and I believe the fucking Red Sox just gave up a run on an infield hit. I believe I didn't see it, but I fucking am. We're already losing 1-0 here. We'll see the replay of how that happened right now. Yeah, an infield fucking single, and Rafael Devers cannot get the ball there. That is really fucking annoying. All right, so 1-0 White Sox there on a dinky-do hit. Well, point of this game, ultimately, nothing for me here. I think this is going to be a fun game to watch, one of the best games of the night. Dog or pass for me here, guys. I don't think, if you guys have anything on this game, let us know in the chat as always, but this will be a fun game. Tough game to bet, though. Next game on the docket is a game that I am on, and I wanted... Actually, I want to double check. I did double up on it. I did double up on it, even though I said earlier that doubling up has been a pain for me. I'm on Seattle first 5 -0.5 at plus 105, and welcome to the show, George Kirby. George Kirby, the top pitching prospect for the Seattle Mariners, left in their farm system. It's great. And let me tell you, the sign of a Tanner Houck goes to second for the double. Nope. All right, so a ground ball back to that Tanner Houck. He goes back to second base, cannot turn the double play, but we've got 2 outs, one on. I'm struggling here, guys. 2 outs, 1-0 Sox. Guys on the corners. All right, we're back now. We need the water. There goes my first 3. What the fuck? I'm sorry, Nate. First 3 line. I kind of want to start betting first 3s, but I do not get those lines, unfortunately. But let's talk about Kirby here. George Kirby has not pitched in AAA, so there's your first sign of him being a fantastic pitcher. In AA this year, he's 2-0 with a 1.82 ERA, a 3.62 FIP, so that's interesting there. And the thing that really stood out to me here, 32 strikeouts to 5 walks. So that is a big indicator to me that he has got some good shit, and he's throwing it for strikes. I should have looked at his walk percentage, and I did not, but he's got 24 2/3 innings pitched down there in AAA. And on top of that, I mentioned it, or I really just spoke literally all about it last time. Yarborough was on the bump. I think he's horrible. I think he's one of the worst pitchers out there. I hate watching him, and he came through for me that time at Oakland. 2 1/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 Ks, 3 walks. And I wouldn't be surprised if he had a better start here, but I really just don't. I can't get there. I think he's just a bad pitcher, and both of these bullpens have been used up this last couple of days. So I'm taking Rays first 5 -0.5 at plus 105, and I took the over. I took the full game over, 7.5 here. I thought it was a pretty low number for both offenses who have been great. Let's see here. 8th are the Tampa Bay Rays right now against left-handed pitchers. I wrote left-handed pitchers, but George Kirby is a righty, so that's interesting. So I'll double-check that number. But the second part of this, I should say, the Seattle Mariners are second against lefties. 121 weighted runs created plus. And the Tampa Bay Rays right now are second against righties. So, no, I see what I did. I just flipped them. So the Mariners are 8th against lefties, and the Tampa Bay Rays are second against righties. That's interesting. That's the inside my note-taking process right there. Point is to say both these offenses are top 5, and fucking damn it, they just gave up a fucking hit. So I believe that's 3-0 White Sox. Son of a fucking bitch, Jose fucking Abreu. Fucking Red Sox are done, guys. I'll tell you right now, the Red Sox are fucking done. And Alex Cora's coming out to seemingly go get Tanner Houck. Horrible. Shitty bet there for me. Shitty bet, I guess. But we still got some innings. I don't expect the Red Sox to score, even off of fucking horrible-ass Dallas Keuchel. Sickening. Absolutely sickening. First 5, full game, over 7.5 for me. And let's move on to the last game on the docket. Actually, I want to look at the comments before we do. I gotta go. I just threw up in my mouth. Yeah, the fucking Red Sox are so fucking bad this year, guys. Holy shit, they were bad. So bad. So bad. Moose Money saying huge dump from AA, from AA to the majors. Not many people can do it effectively. Yeah, not many players can. You are right about that, and that's why I'm on the over 7.5. It's kind of like a mini hedge, I guess. If he does get touched up, it makes me feel better because I do have the over, but I do think he will come through for me. And the Seattle Mariners do have a good offense, so if it does go into a slug match, I think it'll be a good time to have plus money on it, minus 130. Chief saying what I'm thinking right here, and Jefferson C. Oh no. What a heartbreaking news for me here, because you guys know how I feel about Matt bet on Brash. And his last 2 outings were Matt fade Brash. But Jefferson C saying Kirby was brought up to replace Brash. They're turning Brash into a reliever at Tacoma. Well, I mean, he's got great shit, as you guys all saw. He's got great stuff, so maybe he will be better out of the pen. But hopefully we'll see some George Kirby here. Maybe I think George Kirby could just fill that hole that Matt Brash is leaving in my heart. So out with Brash, in with Kirby there. Last game on the docket. Fun matchup here. Another fun pitching matchup. And on the face of it, you'd think first 5 under here as well. And while I'd say that, I'm going to pull it up. Walker Buehler versus Marcus Stroman here. Marcus Stroman has bounced back, I guess you can call it. 2 good starts to follow up a shitty start at home. At Milwaukee, 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 5 Ks. That was his start against Corbin Burns, where he basically said, like, you pitch against Corbin Burns, someone that good, you want to up your chutzpah. You want to fucking go out there and compete, basically what he said. At the Atlanta Braves, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 Ks, no walks, and that was coming off of his 4 1/3, 8-run performance versus the Tampa Bay Rays. The Cubs, I should say, are 24th against righties at an 83 weighted runs created plus. And by the way, Sawamura now on the Red Sox bump here in the top of the 3rd inning, which makes me feel like dog shit. Heimblum really fucked up this roster. It's shocking. It is shocking to see how fucking awful this team is right now. Marcus Stroman, like I said, has been great. Walker Buehler has obviously been fantastic. He's the heir to the throne in LA. I mean, that's the most obvious thing we all know. Versus the Tigers, 5 innings, 6 hits, no earned runs, 5 Ks, no walks, and that was coming off of a complete game shutty for him at the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are a capable squad right now. So that is a good look. 3 hits, 10 Ks in that performance. 13th are the Dodgers against righties, 104 weighted runs created plus. And I do want to take this first 5 under, man. I really do want to take the first 5 under 3.5. Thank you, God, for Alex Verdugo for making a diving play to get out of the inning. Minimal damage. Fucking 3-0 White Sox. First 5 under 4.5. Still alive, guys. Still alive. Let's fucking see what Dallas Keuchel can do. We need shutout innings from Dallas Keuchel. You guys are slowly watching me unraveled with the Red Sox season. I think I sacrificed the Red Sox to the gambling gods. I said, Red Sox, gambling gods, take this, the Red Sox, to my sacrifice. If I have a winning record this year, the Red Sox season is worth it. And I'm absolutely killing it this year, and the Red Sox are fucking horrible. So, yeah. That's how it is. And by the way, Kyle Henley saying Dallas gives up 2. Watch. Now, this is a live betting show, guys. This is a live betting show, and I'm sorry, I do have Dodgers Cubs on the screen, and I should be breaking down Dodgers Cubs. Oh my God, it's only plus 210. Get the fuck out of here. I wanted to look at the Bruins. I saw Charlie McAvoy, and I saw Bruins already. 3-0 for the White Sox, and the Red Sox are only plus 225. That's a fucking joke. That is a fucking joke. They should be plus like 400. They were plus 400-ish. I would have moved on them, but that's a joke. White Sox. I keep saying White Sox. Dodgers. I think, like I said, I'm leaning towards the first 5 under here, and I don't know if I want to make it official. And I should check the weather in Chicago, or at least the wind, because if we got a wind in, if there's a lot of wind in, then I will officially move on that first 5 under 3.5 here today. Let's see here. Wind situation. The wind is left to right. 13 miles an hour left to right. So, yeah, I'm going to stay off this game, too. I think the Dodgers are very hard to bet. Full game under 7.5 also would not be a bad look here. But I'm off this. And if I had to make a play, free bet on the card here, it would be the first 5 under 3.5 minus 110 for me. All right. That's the card, everyone. That's the full 18-game card for us today here. And I have not added anything today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays today for the people in the back. And I will say, I wanted to take that Mets-Phillies first 5 under in game 1. And I don't remember when that game started. It should start soon, I assume. Yep, it starts right now, actually. First 5 under 3.5 would be minus 120, and I am going to go ahead and take that. I need to do it quickly because it's going to go off the board. I want to check the wind, 13 miles an hour in, so I am absolutely going to move on that right now. Motherfucker, it has started, but I can still bet it live, thankfully. Actually, no, I refreshed. We're still good. Yep. Actually, no, I'm getting fucked, so I was too late. That's annoying. That is a little annoying. So I wanted to bet that first 5 under 3.5 there in New York. Phillies game 1. However, if you've got Bovada, it is now live, unfortunately. And the totals now are 4 at minus 130. And obviously, you guys know how I feel about 4s now. Or I should say minus 130s, and I will not be taking that. So I like the first 5 under in game 1 as well. Let's see here. Let's go through the comments real fast, and let's read off the comments before we wrap this shit up, recap our plays, and get out of here and enjoy our Mother's Day. Again, shout out to all the moms out there. As always, you guys are the best out there. I thought about having my mom on the show, but she would just look at me weird. Wouldn't know what I'm saying half the time. And, yeah, maybe make me a little nervous. Who knows? Shout out to my mom, though. Appreciate that. Remos, continue the rest of the show just cursing out the Red Sox the entire game. I mean, that's what I do alone. So if the show did go on, it would just be me cursing silently to myself about the Red Sox. 2 quick outs for Dallas Keuchel in the bottom of the 3rd, by the way. So, yes, Remnos. That's what it's like watching the Red Sox with me, especially when they're losing. And Dabby Cab is going to experience that next week. And I'll mention this next week, next Saturday. Dabby Cab and I together, DFW area. If you're in the DFW area, Dallas Fort Worth area, come through. The Rangers game, Red Sox that game that Sunday. We'll be there hanging out, and it'll be a fun time. So if you're in the area, come watch us there. And I will mention this again, and this will be hammered throughout the week. Starting on Wednesday, I am hosting Betting with the Bag. Jimmy the Bag is going on vacation. It will turn into Betting with Bouquett. Betting with Bouquett. It'll be live 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. Dallas Keuchel gets out of that with like 6 pitches, so fantastic for him. Good for us, I guess. I will be hosting the show. We will go through every game, hockey, basketball, baseball, obviously. I will have less to say about hockey and basketball, but I will have a fantastic guest actually there with me, Dutch, all those guys, Wham, Gokster, Bobano, all the regulars that are coming through for betting with the bag. They will be there as always, and I'll be there to introduce the game, sit there, look pretty, and hopefully get a smile out of you guys every once in a while. So I will be there hosting that from Wednesday to next Tuesday with Peter Loshak. So watch the show. It'll be a very, very fun show. And I will say this, Moose Money making a good point. Running Jimmy's show, then yours sounds like a chance to up the say hey plant counter. It'll be one show, and I'm going to be doing basically say hey plays in the middle of betting with the bag, or betting with Bouquett, I should say. Betting with Bouquett. Jesus. The Bruins game is being played at the bar right now, and it's empty, and I'm the only one at the bar, and the TVs are all like have sound on, and I just fucking hear the Bruins anthem singer, who does it beautifully, obviously, but just fucking screaming in the bar right now. Just startled me. Jesus. However, what was I even saying? I don't even remember now, guys. But the point is that I'll be hosting the show. Come in Wednesday through Friday. I'll be there, and obviously Peter and Jimmy will be there Tuesday. So come there, and it'll be a fun time. So tune in for that. One show, no say hey plays at 5:30 that week, and then say hey plays during betting with the bag. So tune in then, please and thanks. All right, so let's run through the plays, and I will shout you guys out in the chat here soon. Shout out to Abel Alvarez. Shout out to Brian Watson, all you guys. T Moose Money. We're going with the Seattle double up here to start it off. Seattle first 5 -0.5 at +105. Seattle Tampa Bay over 7.5 at -115. We also took Arizona first 5 -0.5 at -115. Zach Gallen on the bump there, hoping he has a good start. Milwaukee first 5 money line at +105 for us. And then we and are watching live the Chicago White Sox, Boston Red Sox first 5 under 4.5 at -125 here. We're sweating that one, guys. We are sweating that one. But it's working out for us. So for one out in the bottom of the fourth inning. One out. So we'll see here. And I would love to hear from you guys real quick. I know it's just me talking, and I know you guys can only have so much of me, but I would love to know if you guys just want me to keep this live going through the end of the fifth inning. We're at the top of the fourth inning, so I'm an idiot. We're at the top of the fourth inning, one out. So I can keep going for these next 6 outs, or I should say, the umpire just took a tumble. I think the umpire just wore one right in the mask. So there's going to be a long delay. So maybe I'm not going to be streaming this thing. But the umpire just got smoked, I think. Christ. All right. But I forgot to mention one last play. Kansas City Royals, Baltimore Orioles, first 5 under 3.5 at -110. And that is game 2. That is game 2 in there. Game 2 -110 for the under 3.5. Let us shout out everyone in the chat, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for watching me throughout the whole show. Like I said, I know these one-man shows can be a little bit of a grind to get through, but I appreciate it, all of you guys, so much. Abel Alvarez, might as well, right? That's what I was thinking. Might as well just pop in and say hello to everyone. Anthony going with a Yankees parlay. That's a really funny parlay in my head, but I think, that has no reason not to cash. I think Glenn Otto is good, obviously, but, take that with what you will. Let's see here. Shy Archie in the chat. Shout out to you, my man. Shy Archie, Moose Money. Thank you so much. Robert Franklin in here, my guy. Ooh, and I just found out, right? I know what the taint play of the day is now. No, I'm going to whisper this. I don't know if I can give this out loud all the time. The Dodgers first 5. Roger that in the chat here. Raven in the desert joining us as well. Shout out to Raven in the desert, giving us good umpire info as always. Shout out to you, my man. Love that umpire info. Keep it up in the chat there. Brian Watson, T. in there. Moose Money. I should count. If I was doing both shows, I should count them as double headers, and I should count them as say hey counters. That would be funny. So that would be good. Roger that. Dami Gunn, my man, Dabby Cap. See you next week. Kyle Hentleyan, Anthony Ramos, Christopher Commentini. Christopher, you've been fucking hitting these parlays. If you're still in the chat, drop a parlay for us real quick. Drop a 2-team parlay. That'd be great for us. I would love to hear because you've been hitting it for us. And if it's another one I like, I'll gladly tell you, my man. Christopher Commentini doing a great job as always. Love it, guys. Real Deal Prime, Marquell. Thank you, dude. Anthony, Ron, Walsack, Robert Franklin, all you guys. You guys are the best. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to Stellar Girl who joined us as well. Rare when we get a female viewer on the show, and I value them heavily because we don't have many of them. So I would appreciate as many as we could get. By the way, I think on the Red Sox broadcast, they are doing the on-field interviews, and I'm very glad that I'm not listening to this game because I fucking can't stand those interviews. Especially when they're in a real game, and especially when your team is getting fucking shit on 3-0, and it seems like they're having some issues with the headsets, and the umpire is in fact out of commission now. On-play umpire out of commission, so it seems like they are going through an umpire change, which is making this staying till the fifth inning a little more difficult than it was going to be anticipated, but it's going to be interesting. Jay Peasy, I don't know if I'm allowed to give it out openly. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I will just say it again. I'll whisper it. I'm not going to say it again. Dodgers first 5, -0.5. Yeah, you heard it right. You heard it. All right. So let's actually, while we're here, I don't think I am actually going to unfortunately go this whole fifth inning here because this delay is going to make it a little more difficult, and unfortunately, I am going to, or well, I guess not. Unfortunately, I do have things to do with my own mother today. By the way, middle of the first in Game 1, 0-0 for the Phillies and Mets game. I wish I had the first 5 under 3.5 there. Unfortunately, I do not, but I wish I did. Those 6 plays all in, and I need to make sure that I've got them in officially as well because I do not want to pull a Jimmy the bag like he did with the Lightning and think he bet him, but absolutely did not. So, all right. So I need to bet Kansas City, Baltimore. There we go. See, there's my accountability, guys. There we go. Game 2. Game 2. Under 3.5. Beautiful. All right. Well, I think that will wrap it up here, guys. So I love and appreciate you guys, all 80 of you guys watching the show. Like I said, I've been repeating, and I'll keep repeating because I do, in fact, appreciate everyone that watches the show. Say Hey Plays 32, an interesting one. Say Hey Plays Mother Day edition. Don't forget to say hey to your mom, all that good stuff. Get your mom some flowers. I'm about to go out and try to find my mom some flowers right now. Son of the year here that has not given his mom flowers. Let's recap the plays one last time for the people in the back. Brothers and Bets joining us late, but I'll recap for you. I didn't even see your comment, but I'm glad you're here. Seattle first 5 -0.5 at +105. Seattle, Tampa Bay over 7.5 at -115. Arizona first 5 -0.5 at -115. Milwaukee first 5 money line at +105. Shocking line there. I still can't believe that they're giving plus money for the Brewers there against Charlie Morton. Currently have the White Sox, Red Sox first 5 under here. 4.5. It's 3-0 currently with this fucking long ass umpire delay. I feel bad for Alec Verdugo that he just has to stroll around and talk to the fucking announcers the whole this whole break. So rip him. And they added the Kansas City Royals, Baltimore Orioles under 3.5 for the first 5 at -110. And that is for game 2. I will keep saying that in game 2. Doubleheader here, game 2. Daniel Lynch, Bruce Zimmerman on the bump there. Awesome. So this has been great, guys. This has been great. Don't forget to smash the like before you go, just like my guy, Brothers and Bets here. Hit the like button for us. It helps us, puts us in the algorithm, gets us out to more people. And ultimately, the more people we have watching this show, the more minds we have in this chat, the better we're going to be capping the baseball, guys. Our goal here is all one combined goal, and that is to make money off these fucking bookmakers, off these fucking bookies, and off these fucking casinos. We are here to make money, and that's what we're going to do today, guys. I'll recap yesterday, one last time. We went 3-5 yesterday, down 2.95 units, and we're going to have a better day today. 119.99 on the show, 23.4 units up on the year, and we are going to get to 30, guys. That's my goal. It's been my goal for a little bit now. We've been struggling, been a little cold. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, guys. Don't forget to say hey on social media at Jose Bouquett is my Twitter. Follow me there, or at Say Hey Plays on Twitter. You get all the content there. It'll be great, guys. Say hey and see ya.